All right, are we live? We're not quite live. Craig beat it. All right, welcome to the Yang Gang Roundtable. It is 2:06 p.m. Friday, March 5th. We've got Lucas, Ariel, Refluence, and myself here. Hello, everybody. How are you? Ariel, where's your camera? What are you doing?
You guys all have it on.
Ariel, if you want people to watch the show, you gotta show your beautiful face. People only tune in to see eyes and mouths. If you don't turn that on, no one's gonna watch. None of the work you're doing, all the pontificating on what to type in and what stars to get get in the good graces of so they can give you a boost. Nothing's gonna make as much of a difference as turning on your camera.
Podcast.
I'm sorry for busting your chops, but go ahead and start the show. You had something you wanted to talk about, hustle porn, so you're doing a video on it.
Yeah, so basically I'm going to be doing a video on hustle porn on Ariel the Avalanche. So the thing is that like I'm not against working hard, but I am against exploitation and things that create unnecessary stress and anxiety in the world. So, I mean, the whole idea that it's your fault that you're not like have a mansion and have millions of dollars in the bank is that you don't work hard enough is patently just a load of crap designed to excuse this system of lies, hypocrisy, and BS that we have.
Yeah, it's a
And
way of blaming
yeah,
the individual when the system is at fault.
right, exactly. And the thing that pisses me off the most, it's not about hustling really so much as it is about like strategizing and having a plan and doing your work smart. I mean, it doesn't matter how much like back in the day when, we had hunter gatherers, if like the hunter ran after its prey and he really hustled, but the smarter thing to do would just be to create like a bow and arrow or throw a spear, so that way you don't need to like hustle.
Yeah.
You have like a strategic plan, something you have in mind, and like the whole point of human evolution is to create systems that save us time, save us money, save us energy, save us effort, so we have more of that time that we can be maybe like artistic, contemplate life, do all of those things. And hustling is like, just expend all your energy until you don't have any left, and somehow it'll get you to wherever the hell you want to go, is just patently idiotic. Because if you have a plan, if you have a headache and you think your remedy is bashing your head against the wall to get rid of the headache, and then it doesn't work, and then someone's telling you, well, you're not doing it hard enough and fast
Yeah.
enough, you really need to hustle, you're just making it worse because maybe you're hustling, but you're hustling in the wrong direction. Like if there's like a race and you're running in the opposite direction, and someone's just telling you the reason you're losing the race is because you're not running fast enough
Right.
when you're running in the opposite direction. They don't know what the hell they're saying. you know
That's right. They're
so
they're
that
they're
I
only
get that.
looking at they're people who look at effort but not
Mhm,
method uh
mhm,
aren't really making any sense. And certainly
right.
shouldn't be criticizing people.
Mhm,
Right.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. And there's so much of this idea, or whatever you want to call it, is that people always love, judging the people who are struggling and not successful. But that's the easiest thing in the world. Like, it's so easy to just look at people and judge. It's a whole nother thing to just look at people and look at all the nuances, look at all, like, okay, so what kind of environment that are they in, what kind of tools do they have at their disposal, what kind of guidance were they given, what
Right.
kind of traumas did they need to go through. Oh no, they're just not working hard enough, okay, we can just overlook this guy. It's like,
Wow.
shithead, that's not helping anyone.
No,
And
it's because it's because of the people, the information you have, the people that they have access to. or the information that they have access to makes it more available to them that they know a lot of things. So it's like it's like an information overload about what you're talking about, like what they're doing, like where they're
Yeah.
doing it, how they're doing it.
I mean, case in point, look at Congress. They don't
Right.
hustle. They
Right.
make $174,000. They're not hustling. They're
Yeah.
procrastinating. They're leaving things to the last minute. They're just bullshitting. They're sitting on their hands. What hustle? What you know? And then we have Makan Job telling everybody if they get the $1,400, they're probably not going to go back to work, which kind of falls under that culture of like, oh, like they need to be doing something. They need to be, but it's like, wait a minute, what the hell have you done other than nothing for so many years of just bills piling up on your desk and you just sitting on your rotten, wrinkled up, decrepit ass? Nothing has been changed in this country, and you have the nerve to project on the entire nation of them not working. Look who's calling the
Yes, sir.
kettle black. You know, it's so egregious. It's so disgusting. I mean, I don't know what to say at this point, right?
Can I share an
Hi,
example?
Kaizen.
'Cause I have
Wait,
something,
let's yeah, go ahead.
Oh, me? Okay. So I think it was 2 years ago in the summertime. Me and my dad we were going to Home Depot, and he had this weird idea of like automatically judging this kid. I think it was maybe between like 18, maybe 22 years old. He's like, "Oh, do you know where this screw I need is?" I'm like, "Dad, you have to tell him what kind of screw and everything." And he didn't know. Like, kid, like that's not his fault. He didn't know just because he's young. You know, Dad, I think maybe you should have explained more about the type of screw because he's young and all this and all that. And I felt bad for him. I mean, him being a young employee at Home Depot. And I was like, that's not his fault, you know? There's like 100 screws here in this section. What do you expect's going to happen? No one can know 100 screws.
Yeah, and that's another thing I can't stand. When people just think that other people are like mind readers, where they just like jump to these conclusions. It's just like, hey, idiot, I can't read your mind. Like I don't have that capability. And it's like all of it's on and that's the thing that I hate about like academia and the schooling that we have in the United States in general. It's like they just assume that we'll know what to do once we get this stupid piece of paper in our hands. It's like, okay, like the job market has changed, the world has changed, everything is like migrating to the digital and online world. But let's teach people like they're back in the 60s and let them figure it out, you know, when they're all done. When yeah, it's just it's horrendous.
It's a mind fuck.
Yeah, it's a total
Right.
yeah.
Oh, lag. Oh shit.
We got lag.
Oh, hi Kai. Let's see. It's not. Yeah, it's really gross. And like there's studies that like this study that was done. It was like employment rose after the free money experiment, the one that they did in California, and people are still going because I think that once people have that space to just not worry and to think and do those things, then they're going to be a lot more productive. It's not rocket science. It's pretty easy, and it's like we stick to these old stupid narratives from old stupid people, and it's got to stop.
It has to stop. Ah.
Yeah, there's a recent study on UBI out of I think Sacramento, California, where people were given money for X number of months. It was 3 months, and it was like, I don't remember the exact amount. It doesn't really matter. The principle stands whether it was $500 or $3,000. More money contributes to people's stability, which contributes to their ability to work, and it doesn't change people's desire to work one way or the other. If you want to work, you want to work because you want to contribute and you want to be rewarded for it. You don't want to just live at the baseline, which is basic income. You strive. It's basic human nature to strive for more than the baseline. It's also basic human nature to simply contribute because you're able to. Two things that will make you want to work. And also the social pressure of not working will still be there to some degree. There'll be the stigma being like, oh, you're just sitting around being lazy. All right, well, at least that's you, you know. Some people don't like that. Some people will be fine with it. Some people won't. If you want to get in the good graces of the people who just love work, you're still going to want to work. There are bajillions of reasons to work. Lots and lots of positive motivators. We do not need this whip. We do not need this punitive motivator to keep us,
McConnell
taking any
does,
job
but
that's
not the rest.
possible.
Yeah. Look at McConnell. He's getting money and not working.
He's the worst.
Or Carter Peterson, Family Guy.
Yeah.
What projection? I mean, like, there's basic human, nature to want to like put your foot up the asses of people who just lie, cheat, bullshit, and have everything in their world that they don't deserve. You know that they don't deserve it. They just have it through luck, or since they're corrupt, or since they bullshitted their way into some.
And they know that then they have to do this to keep it, because they know it's not something that they naturally possess.
Right, exactly. Like, who would hire any of these people in Congress right now to do even to even be like a dog catcher, or even like you wouldn't even hire them at like a McDonald's.
No.
What would they do? They just argue with each other and not serve the customers. And the thing, what business would want any of these idiots working for them?
No one.
No,
yeah,
it's a con.
exactly.
How you doing, Kaizen?
It's a con.
Kaizen,
Hi.
are you with us? She might have stepped out. Well, it's good to see you. I'm sure she'll be
for
back.
the internet stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's not. Anyway, I want to move around. But yeah, it's just so gross.
Yeah.
It's unnatural, sick. And I think, like for me, just getting something actually promotes my desire to be productive when I feel like I'm being invested in.
Yeah.
I think everyone
does. McConnell doesn't want to cause any inflation. Because people's debts are effectively reduced when there's inflation. And if you give everyone money, the traditional economic wisdom is there'll be some inflation, and there may be a little, but it's certainly who cares, right?
But it's not
but the thing is, if you are a creditor and a lot of people owe you money, then effectively they owe you less. So those are the interests that McConnell is looking after when he doesn't want to give anyone the short term, at least. Aside from the more philosophical ideas about power and control and how to maintain it long term, the short term is that he's afraid there will be this inflation if he allows this $1,400 check to go through in the economy. And then, the creditors, the debt that they own will be worth less. So that's why the credit, the banks are like, no, don't give the money. Just you got to stop them. All the financiers are in Joe Biden, Joe Manchin, Mitch McConnell's ear going, no, you got to do anything but give people money, anything but that. That's inflation. They're afraid of inflation.
I think they just don't know how to tax the rich tech companies. That's how you get more money.
The tech companies aren't even the richest. The tech companies, all rich companies are avoiding taxes, but tech companies didn't avoid tax evasion. It's been around for much longer than computers.
It's very one-sided.
Yeah, it is. It's
the 99% and then the 1%.
That's why I'm in favor of a VAT tax, and some of my friends, my burner friends, aren't super into it because they're like, well, just get billionaires to pay taxes. Don't have to do VAT. Okay, if you can get billionaires to pay taxes, we won't do the VAT. Until then, let's do the VAT. We'll do the VAT, and then if you figure out some way to get the billionaires to pay their share, we'll get rid of the VAT. Let's do it that way. But nobody has a plan for getting the billionaires to actually pay for taxes. We've given up on it. And then if you try any alternative, they're like, no, you can't do any alternative. We just have to do the thing we've given up on, and we're just paralyzed. And that's America.
Bruh.
Yeah, it's and nobody knows that like Jeff Bezos, he had like an initial investment. He didn't start from scratch.
Everyone knows. Yeah, sure. None of these guys start from nobody starts from scratch. There's no class mobility anymore.
Right.
Yeah, Bill Gates did. I know he says his story like I started.
No, Bill Gates'
about-
rich parents who made Windows the standard for the American government. That's how they got.
Oh,
That's
really?
how that was. He got a big government contract. That's how every business starts. It's a big
Oh,
government.
no,
Because the big government
didn't-
contract because the government's
He
got all
got
the money.
welfare.
Yeah.
He got, oh, the W word.
Yeah.
Wow, he got our taxpayer money.
And now he
Lazy
owns more
bum.
farmland than like anyone else in the United States. He just
I
bought.
know,
right?
So that's cool. He's gonna make a kingdom.
Right, yeah, he's got with all the serfs. and
Oh
stuff.
yes,
yeah.
peak America.
Well,
Peak
finally, Marielle Trump on Twitter. I'm so tired of sociopaths in positions of power. Like, aren't we all?
Yep.
It's like
That's why
it's
we're running for things.
right, exactly. Yeah, you know what's amazing is like the sociopaths. Ah, damn it! Where's my train of thought go? I'll remember it. It's okay. Go ahead, you guys.
So I mean, Refluence is going to run for the mayor of Maui, and I keep saying,
Yeah.
you know, well,
Yeah.
you know, when I have it, we'll have a meeting with Tom, and we'll get you connected with other people, and they will teach you how to run for the mayor of Maui. But we were looking at Ballotpedia before. What were we looking there for, Lucas?
I forgot. I think we were just seeing special elections or something this year.
Yeah, I think we were looking at like kind of general information on how to run for office.
Yeah, there's different
Yeah.
stuff. Special elections.
Oh yeah, I remember what it was. Like, it's
Hmm.
the thing that people how low people will go just to like own someone else, just to show their power or something. Because the thing is like, look, like you guys are freezing to death in Texas just to own the libs. Oh, we really showed them by dying and not having our basic needs met. At least we won the argument, though.
Right.
You really didn't, but yeah, it's like you're willing to have like a shittier lifestyle and life situation just so you can like hold on to a dogma or an ideology. Like, if you perish, I'm sorry, I have no empathy for you. You're just a scumbag. It's like, that's it's gross. It's like, let's have this tide that lifts all boats instead of, oh, well, if I have one finger on my hand missing, at least that guy has two fingers on his hand missing, so I'm not that guy. It's disgusting. It's like a race to the bottom, right?
Yep.
You could see this race to the bottom. It's like, oh, we may have like violated all these laws and done all these stupid things, but they violated more laws and done stupid things. So we need to like be even worse than them. It's we saw it on like January 6th, oh, there were riots at the Capitol, but like Black Lives Matter. What about them? What about they destroyed citizens? It's like, okay, well, what like so
What else?
you just want to like point fingers and never get anything done? That's your modus
Right.
operandi, idiot. So okay, it's like, yeah, terrible.
Terrible. But in the opposite effect, well, for me at least, I've been doing a lot of meditation and self healing practices. So, like, when, for example, like I would meditate like maybe twice a day, and then I'll think about all these things that Ariel was talking about, like all these negative things about our country, and then it's like, bruh, it's it's still emotionally taxing just to listen to this.
Yeah.
But the light of this is that there's still hope in the world that we
Well,
gotta strive for.
well, the
That's what
beautiful
I'm saying.
thing is, man, is that Yang activated all of us, and I think that when the shit hits the fan, like, the decent human beings kind of like come together and like create their thing. So the beautiful thing is that we found each other and we understand each other, and there's something in that that's just so awesome when you don't even need like a material thing. You don't even need like good food or like an expensive house or a big TV, whatever. You like I'm happiest when I know that I'm around people, especially physically, even though we're online, of people who just get it. Like there's just something about being around people who don't judge, who just get it, and who don't want to constantly like combat your opinions and tell you that everything is fine when it's not. You know, it's some of the best moments when you're just around those people, and not only when you're around people like that, but when you can do activities with them, when you can like have fun, just like people you relate to and understand to, and like let's say like I'm going on a vacation with people like that, like that's heaven for me right there. Like on a plane with like 10 people headed to maybe like Hawaii and
Hey,
talking about things we all get along on. We all understand. It just feels good. And then maybe we do a little activity like we go out to the beach or I don't know, maybe
dude,
like
there's a lot of
buy
things
us
to do,
stuff.
and like when you're playing tourist in Hawaii, there's a lot of things.
Right. Yeah. Like, can you
That
imagine?
sounds
Like,
nice.
one day we all we were this COVID thing like blows over. Like, we should do like one where we all where we get a UBI and then we all go to Hawaii. We meet
We should have a
Ruslan.
convention.
Like,
Yeah,
People
yeah,
were saying
a
like
round table.
people were saying YangCon, for,
yeah.
when Yang was running. But I think we should just
Do that in
expand it and
Iowa.
make it the basic InCon, huh?
Basic income.
Yeah,
Right?
That's a
InCon.
good
That-
one.
Basic
Holy
InCon.
shit.
Yeah, just
I'm gonna write it down.
not have to.
Yes,
worry
write it down.
about,
Good, good.
You know, the best feeling in the world is like not having to have like a thing that you're worrying about in the back of your head. You know, because that
Mhm.
takes us so much energy from you. Because our whole lives, like this piece of shit system, tells us that we're free and we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Why does that matter, you fucking idiot? It
I was
doesn't
watching Lee
matter if,
Camp
like,
talk about how
you're
sorry, let's
yeah,
say we're he's always saying we talk about how we have all this freedom, or
right.
many Americans say like, "Are you so free?
No,
Free."
you got
No,
you
most Americans are wage slaves. If you're a wage slave, you're not
right,
free, and if you're not a wage slave, you're probably imprisoned by poverty. You just really have
right,
very few options because you've got no social currency to do
right.
even to get a home or food or
Yeah,
transportation or heat or
exactly.
medicine or clothing.
I,
So that's
I
this country.
I mean, freedom is access.
Yeah,
Free
we're like one of the
that's what
least free
freedom is.
countries in the world. This is why we have to
Right.
keep saying
We
it.
don't have any fucking
Yeah.
access. And when you're like the place that you live is like designed to take away your access, like in LA, I didn't have any freedom growing up. All the people growing up in LA hardly have any freedom because the bus systems suck and you're reliant on your parents to get you to and from somewhere. Well, now Uber has kind of opened that up, but that costs money. But at the same time, even if you do own a car, then you have to think about like parking and traffic and you can't get there on time and just the level of that inconvenience. It's such a, pain in the neck. And it's even worse for you if you're living in some kind of like suburb or middle of nowhere, wherever the hell, where like the drive into town takes like 15 minutes just to get some like freaking groceries. I mean, I was looking at these homes on these hills and stuff and like all the way in the back, but I'm like even if you paid me to live there, I wouldn't want to live there because I'm so far away from everything. Who cares? The house is big, but I mean, you're still far away from like civilization and shit. And the people who like traditional, young people, they don't they're not having this freedom because first of all, like school like owns most of your life, and
Mhm.
then you have to wait for your parents to come and get you, and unless you can walk home. But yeah, like this access that you have or you don't have, it determines who's going to listen to your voice. Because if you can't make it to your town hall because you need to get in your car and drive one way an hour and drive the other way an hour, and you have to think about like gas and parking and stuff like that, then no one's really hearing your voice because you already have enough trouble getting there for people to hear your voice. you know
Well,
so
you have
it's
bikes, but I don't know if that would be much
what
faster. Unless you
what
have,
Bikes.
I used to ride my bike this
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, well, that's there too. But it's all different levels and different geographies and stuff like that. But yeah, but the access that you don't have is that freedom that you don't have, and privilege opens up that access, and that's something people are you're either born like into like a family with like a lot of connections, and they can make phone calls to important people, and they have like this Rolodex, or you're born into like wage slavery where your family doesn't have like Rolodexes or any of that stuff, or can't really like contact important people to move and shake things, so your freedom's going to be way more limited by default. It's like,
It's not even freedom at that point.
yeah, it's
Like
just BS.
shackles,
Yeah,
shackles of BS.
yeah, shackles of BS. It's just that, and then everybody says, "Oh, it's because of an education." But look at all these people drowning in debt with all this education and like no job to go with it. So it's not even that. I mean, Kai has her master's degree, and she's struggling as much as she is. And then everybody tells you like, "Oh, but education is like your ticket to like more money and like more stable life and all that stuff." Well, tell that to Kaizen. So that's
Right.
it again.
It's interesting you brought that up because my mom's boyfriend, Chris Marcis, he finally finished paying off after, he's in his 50s now. He finally finished paying off his debt after 30 years. Just
Damn.
It's going to be even worse. I mean, that's for someone who's 50 now. Like, if things don't change, the trajectory is so much worse for people who'll be 50 in 20, 30 years.
Right, yeah. He's and he's 50. He's a boomer or like an Xer?
That's an
Gen
Xer.
X. Yeah.
Gen Xer, right? Yeah, yeah. Boomers are all like retiring, aren't they?
Yeah, boomers are
And-
all
and-
over like 65 at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Like my mom is
Yeah.
a year away from retirement, so like that's
My mom is turning 65 in like a couple months.
yeah. It's I don't know. I mean, we were really given the short end of a stick of an entire generation. Oh yeah. Also, there's this lady on YouTube. Her name is Dr. Ramani, and she talks about like all things narcissism. And there was a special glossary term that she used, and this is what narcissists do. And I just said this is just so appropriate to our entire generation. It's a narcissistic technique, and it's called future faking. So what is future?
Oh
faking?
yeah.
You saw that. Yeah, so it means that you make like someone's just sick and tired of dealing with your crap or dealing with your lies, or just they don't like you in general. They may have had a relationship with you. Okay, so what you do is say no. I know this is hard. Just stick it out for another couple of days, weeks, months, years, and things are going to get better. You're going to get that promotion. You're going to get that job. You're going to get that, book deal that you always wanted. And like it just disappears.
Oh, that's
You can't call them
incrementalism
out on
in
it.
Congress. It's like we're going to get Medicare for all in 20 years,
Right,
in
right,
15
exactly.
pieces. Yeah.
So you can't say they're lying because it hasn't happened there. It's a future.
What you have to say is,
it-
I've lost faith in you.
Right, exactly. but no, like if somebody told you like the sky was black, you just peek your head up and you say like,
Right,
okay,
exactly.
You're
But if
all-
the sky's going to be black, well, you could say
Right.
that's called nighttime, but this is a bad
Right.
example.
exactly, right, exactly. So
New
not even
example.
that is like fake.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So yeah, so that's just the thing. Like we've been future faked as like a generation of people by our schools, by our parents, by our teachers, by our professors, a whole freaking
by politicians.
yeah,
Future faking
a
is incrementalism is future faking. I got to write that one down and like say it. Incrementalism is future faking, the narcissistic technique of future faking. I want to bring that up to the next person who advocates incrementalism. Please go on Twitter right now.
Right.
Find someone who advocates for incrementalism. Simply state that incrementalism is future faking, the narcissistic technique, and have them respond. See what they say.
right. So
Okay, I'm on Twitter.
Do it, please.
It's like,
And read their
it's-
response. Find someone who search for incrementalism on Twitter and find someone who you follow and then respond to like their tweet about incrementalism if they're in favor.
right. it's thing, but now it's like about the BS. It's like we have to immunize ourselves to political trash. That's the new vaccine. The vaccine to the lies and the hypocrisy and the future faking. So that's if we it's like if we can have more podcasts like us out there, it's like an inoculation to BS,
Well, it's the legacy media has to stop informing the majority. People have to
Right.
stop buying, and slowly, fewer and fewer people are buying the narrative. Like, we're hitting a tipping point,
Right.
but it's excruciatingly slow. It sucks.
The
Problem's been neoliberalism for the past like 40 years, which is like everything it touched.
Mm-hmm.
right, everything it touched turned into shit. It's more of like the minus touch. It's like a touch that takes things away and like destroys things.
The Midas touch
That's like-
is a curse because it is the Midas touch because the point of the Midas touch is that you can't do anything with gold. It's worthless unless it has ascribed social value. So if we've got this booming economy that doesn't mean anything to most people, that's the fucking Midas touch. It's a great analogy.
Right, yeah.
Right.
It's that's it. Oh wow, there's one with the Midas touch where he's touching things and it
Yeah,
turns into
imagine you had the Midas
crap.
touch. You can't touch any person. You can't touch any food to eat. You're fucked. You're gonna die.
Right, exactly.
Unless you use your
Wasn't-
feet.
wasn't there
Yeah.
that Aladdin King of Thieves or something like that, or like the for Arabian Nights or something, or where there was actually that hand, and then the bad guy really wanted it, and then he touched it on the thing, and he just died because it turned to gold, and then it's like, oh, let me turn my cape into gold.
You
It's
can't
like,
wear
oh, okay,
clothing.
now I
you're
can't
you're
move.
immediately immobilized by your clothing. It's
Right.
it doesn't work. The Midas
Right.
touch doesn't make scientific sense. That's the bottom line.
Right, and I guess that's what Reagan introduced with his neoliberal trash. It's like thing. I mean, who? He was like a scumbag. I don't know
Oh, he's
why
the worst.
people,
Absolute worst.
yeah, he was one of the worst. Yeah. He's like, oh, don't mind me. I talk like this.
Yep.
I sound like a nice little grandpa for everyone.
Who better
it's like,
to sell
fuck
us on
you.
a fake narrative of the world and America's place in it than a fucking actor?
Right.
But I guess Bill Clinton sealed the final deal.
Oh,
Neil.
jeez. Yeah, he was just almost as bad. He made it so that the legacy media can do what it is doing. He changed the law so that news is entertainment and doesn't have to tell the truth. He also ruined welfare. He ruined our welfare system, which used to actually be kind of almost a basic income for people that just didn't make enough money. And now it's so limited. It's workfare. It doesn't come in cash. And if it does come in cash, it's very limited by time. It's awful. It's just
Right, and
Clinton and Reagan. That's the duopoly. They're both working for the same monsters. So we just have to stop anyone who goes, the solution is team red or the solution is team blue, because neither is true.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. It's like if you ever read Moloch, like How by Ginsberg, where he describes like Moloch, it's this machine that just like eats people and stuff and just makes them part of like industrial society.
Mm-hmm.
But the best one was when there was a reading of Moloch, and it was done between Obama and Trump. We're both describing Moloch. I'm like, oh my god, that's so appropriate, because they're both in with this this ugly beast, and they pretend that it's all like it was so good. It was like half of the poem about this industrial beast said in Trump's voice, and the other half in Obama's voice. It's like they're both serving it. It's like they're both minions of Moloch. Yeah, the only one who wouldn't have been a minion of Moloch is Yang, and that's why he didn't get into the club.
I guess the closest former president would be Lyndon Johnson because he really wanted to like end poverty more than like any other president.
Did he?
Right.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm drawing a blank. What did Lyndon Johnson do?
He started ending the war on poverty by going around like West Virginia and different states like back in the 60s.
What did he actually do in West Virginia? Did he go around throwing money?
Trying to remember from
Like Johnny Appleseed with a Monopoly Man bag?
no, I don't know about that, but he tries to do something. What was it called? Let me look.
Lyndon Johnson.
Besides the transportation department, he did something else.
I never think about Lyndon Johnson. It's funny. When was he president? The 60s?
Yeah, after
Yeah, like right before neoliberalism. The last time anything good happened.
he was the last one. What do you call it? Nixon came in, yeah.
Yeah. The last time America was anything less than a consummate villain on the world stage.
Jesus.
America was what?
Oh, yep. here it
Anything
is.
less than a consummate villain on the world stage.
What it says, Lyndon
Consummate.
Johnson, and it says under here, do you support a universal basic income? And yes, he was the last former president. back in
Did
the
he?
60s.
Man. And so did Nixon. Well, Nixon and Lyndon. Wait, he was after Nixon, right? He was before
Before.
Nixon. So
Yeah,
Nixon
but
actually supported it too. So, you know, Nixon was the last one to support it, believe it or not.
Right.
Nixon, you know, you don't think so because he was a Republican, but things were different back then. And it was a Democrat in the Senate who voted it down, who said no, because who is going to fold my shirts? That is their quote. Who is going to fold my shirts? They didn't want to fold their shirts, so now we're all dying of poverty.
Darn it.
So that's the thing. But then when did the scum rise to the top? Like
That's always been
when
there.
Reagan came in.
No, every president's been evil since Washington. He was a jackass. Come on. You can't achieve that kind of power unless you're a bad person.
George Washington machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
Every
like
president's been evil. Come on.
But I think maybe they've gotten progressively more evil.
Probably. There's a scale. Some are worse than others, absolutely. Like, you know, yeah. We've had some really bad ones recently. But, you know, nobody worse. Trump probably wasn't as bad as Andrew Jackson, our most genocidal president. So, you know,
Right.
Biden's probably not as bad as Andrew Jackson. Although, I mean, if you look at like human damage done, the crime bill that Biden authored may well have done more human damage than any of the things Trump did. Hard to say.
Yeah.
Also, Biden just jumped into another war. You know, it's funny that the Democrats still carry some semblance of being like the party of peace and populism when demonstrably Trump was more peaceful and populist. Still, that doesn't enter the narrative because Trump is, you know, admittedly a terrible monster of a man, an abusive, oppressive capitalist and a misogynist, and probably a racist, and all sorts of, you know, he's a dick. He's a stupid dick, but he's not as much of a warmonger. He's not doing the sort of human atrocities on a grand scale that Biden is doing now, and even Obama was doing more grand scale atrocities. I mean, Trump had some atrocities too.
Right,
you know, look, the wall is an atrocity. It's such a visible one. It's so stupid. But is the wall worse than like literally killing fucking hundreds of thousands of people overseas and like, you know, keeping millions in
Right.
Anyway.
You know, yeah, that's the thing. But it would be really ironic if we got the 1800, I think it is, because 1200 and 600 under Trump, and then like 0 until the midterms under
absolutely.
Biden. That would be like
very possible. It's likely even. I mean, we might not get that $1,400 check, you know, because of Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, it's just well, he's the minority, even though it's just a
he'll figure out a way.
You know, yeah, McCon job, as I like to call him.
Yeah.
It's
because they both want to not pass the checks, so they will figure out a way to not pass them. Then will look like they're competing, when they're actually cooperating, colluding.
Right.
It's mostly a show. There's not much governing going on these days.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Whistleblower Protection Act. We don't even see that much anymore.
Tell me about that.
True.
Okay, so it was, I think under Dwight Eisenhower, it might have been implemented. It could have been after that. I don't know. But it was pretty much saying that people who are whistleblowers that can speak out can explain stuff, like Edward Snowden
And
or
like Julian Assange.
or Edward Snowden. Yeah.
Yeah, Snowden, Assange, all of. We've had
Yeah.
many whistleblowers who've been excommunicated.
Or-
Yeah. So this act, it's not working, huh? It's just not functioning these days.
Yeah. And he talked about like the warning of it, Lyndon Johnson, back in the 60s. We have to protect whistleblowers. And I think that's the reason why he protected Martin Luther King a lot when he was around him.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's my theory personally. But yeah.
I should do my research on history, like
Mhm.
politic history, because I'm not too well versed in that. I mean, as minimal was like social studies. that was the minimal of it.
So
Like
I mean,
the
yeah,
things
you're
you're
gonna
talking
get.
about, I haven't.
You're not gonna get the best, most unbiased history by reading the textbooks of the United States of America.
Right. I didn't even pay attention because I felt like it was really biased.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
it was so weird.
I paid
don't
attention
even
because I was a
remember.
kid. I had no sense of this stuff. I did not know the world was the way it is because I was told
Right.
the standard story, which is full of falsehoods. So good for you for knowing better.
My brain.
Yeah. That was a long time ago, though.
But we learned that we're so advanced, but the rest of the world is so like primitive.
That's called arrogance.
We grow up to find out just the opposite.
Yep. Exactly. It's so sad.
Hi.
And Kaizen, welcome.
Okay.
We wouldn't have to say if it were true.
I'm getting ready to sign off actually, but I just wanted to pop in and say hi to everybody.
Good to see
Thank you all for being here. And it's my birthday.
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
I'm
My
an
birthday's
old, I'm an
tomorrow.
old
Happy
lady now.
birthday.
I'm 47.
Oh my God. Congratulations. You made it.
Right?
Yeah.
47 rotations around the sun.
Yes.
That's something. I've accomplished
23.5
something.
twice.
Happy
But
birthday.
I hope you guys have a great talk. It's been fun to listen while I was trying to get my car fixed. So, anyway. But
Thank you, Kaizen. Happy birthday.
I'll just once again reiterate, there is not a single problem that people are experiencing right now that cannot be fixed, in part with more money in our pocket. As always, the universal income is so needed. And it's sad and disappointing to me that the last time it was really discussed in Congress was shortly after I was born.
Yeah. Before I was born.
I've almost reached a half century
Yeah.
of living
Shit.
with no universal income. And my question is, what's the justification?
And they don't want inflation because they are
Well,
creditors.
That's some bullshit. Because we have fiat
It is some
currency
bullshit,
system.
and that's why both McConnell and Pelosi had their houses vandalized. Like it's the language, the only language they listen to.
I mean, I don't really
It's-
support that because I'm not a big fan of, renegade property destruction. But at the same time, fucking deserved it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going to encourage
I'm-
people to do that, but for
Don't
sure,
do
I'm
it.
not going to be like, "Oh, you're a terrible person for
You know
doing
what?
that."
I'm not mad at whoever
Right.
did it. I'm happy it happened. I hope it happens again.
It draws focus to the places where it needs to have focus drawn to.
It's the only language those
Right.
people listen to. They don't speak English. They speak actions.
Well, and they're not fucking adults about it either.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the biggest problems I see with Congress and everything else is that they're up there, they're making laws, and they act like
They
fucking
belong in diapers.
Yeah.
they
belong in old folks'
Ooh.
homes.
You know, and there are a few exceptions. I really like Maxine Waters because she's always been on the right side. You know what I mean? But it's not enough. We don't have enough people like Maxine out there. We don't have, and you know, I just all of it. It's just ridiculous. I just can't and this is why I think it's so exciting that so many Yang Gang are deciding to run for office. So, you know,
It'll be
all of it.
exciting few years.
It's boots on the ground sort of activism stuff like what we're doing here, but it's also raising the consciousness of everybody, you know, pushing it up. And we do it by challenging them. We do it by primary. We do it by going to city council meetings. We do it by going to state legislative sessions and standing there and saying, hey guys, your system is so broken. Not even the stuff that you passed for us, like the PUA, works at all for most of us. I'm still waiting for almost $12,000 for the 16 weeks of unemployment I experienced in March until July of 2020. Now, by rights, I have an entitlement letter that says, yes, you're eligible. But Missouri says it's not retroactive, never was. There's no way for us to do that. And I'm like, well, fix your fucking system because that's what the intent was. Well, no, it isn't. It's like, I'm sorry, bitches, I can read. It's right there in black and white. 3 different ways in all of that documentation that the state themselves sent out about the program, and it says in there that it's retroactive. But you don't have a system to honor that. That's not my problem. Give me my money. Like, you guys can send the money out. You know how to do it. Fuck you. I am so pissed.
They have the system
so
to
pissed.
dishonor everyone.
It's an old boys club, and the women that are in it are just dudes in skirts at this point, for the most part.
That's a good analogy.
Excepting a few women like Maxine, like Cori Bush. Cori Bush, who I didn't get a direct introduction, but I have been in protest crowds with her, you know? So I know where she's coming from. I know the community that she lived in. I've been there, feet on the ground. I get it. And we need more Coris. We need more Maxine. We need Reverend Wendy to win. You know,
we need less Ron Johnson.
More Ron.
We need
Kim.
less Mitch McConnell.
And again, no offense to most of you men in this room, but I don't vote for men, especially white men, anymore. Mm-hmm. Emmanuel Cleaver was my representative back in Kansas City, Missouri. He used to be mayor. He's got streets named after him. He's like a 40-year legacy of politics in Kansas City. And he never once, not once, no one from his office or anyone else responded to my request that they give me my fucking unemployment that he passed. True. And there's no accountability. And that's my big problem. So yeah, go paint nasty words on Cleaver's doorstep and Pelosi's doorstep and every single one that doesn't want to answer a constituent email or phone call. Harass the fuck out of them because they're harassing us. What they're doing is abuse. It's domestic abuse. Except for that the abuse is coming from our fucking representatives who we allegedly elected. Well, I didn't vote for any of those fuckers. I'm so mad. And it is one of those things where, I'm 47. I've got 3 more years before I turn 50 and start pulling AARP.
Oh man, is that... They're going to raise it before you hit 50. They're going to raise it to 60.
AARP is not going to change that. They're the largest. The AARP is the largest lobbying group of voluntary members.
No one retires
in the
anymore.
United States.
So. How can we have an association of retirees without anyone retiring?
It doesn't have to do with retirement anymore.
I know, yeah.
It does absolutely have to do with aging. and getting people help as they're aging. But I'm not going to pretend like they're all in, that they're doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. I mean, they're doing it for fees and dues and all of that stuff too.
It's not a good.
But
yeah, it's
I mean, it's
I think
it
Congress
it's
is
too
like
much.
evil AARP.
AARP is evil AARP. I mean, like they're a pretty deep captured organization. But Kaizen, I was laughing because you you use a fine line between I'm glad it happened and telling people to do it again.
Right.
One makes YouTube shut you down, the other doesn't.
So bad.
Right? So again, I'm go like anybody who's so inclined, go ahead and do it. I ain't gonna stop you for sure,
That's right.
because it's a multi-pronged effort.
In for a penny. ...
Well, like
All right.
an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, but
That's
they
right.
want pounds of cure. They don't want prevention. Nobody wants prevention.
Looks like they want a pound of cure. Let's give it to them.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I got a pound of cure right here for you.
And now I have a Facebook.
Oh, man.
So my daughter,
Hello.
Oh, that's cute.
Hi.
Oh wow.
my
It's very-
birthday,
Very sweet.
and then she made this too.
Wow.
That is a birthday cake
That's cool.
Nice.
Oh.
on a piece of construction paper. I'm guessing it doesn't taste as good as it looks. We'll find out later. So
Mhm.
Happy birthday
But-
again.
thank you so much. I can't wait to come help you run for mayor, Refluence.
Are you going there?
I'm in there.
Are you actually going to Hawaii?
I'll do it.
Good.
I got to get through my legal shit first, but I'll do it.
Yep.
Bring the kids, man.
Good beaches.
Jen Hyde's down there. They're living out on a farm
Mm-hmm.
doing stuff. She said,
Yeah, there's
flat
a
out,
lot
"Come
more
stay
real
with us
estate now.
anytime." Huh?
There's a lot more real estate now that we're building homes. There's more homes in Hawaii and Maui, so there's a lot more land. Yep.
And
Can't
I-
hear you.
a
Oh, there you're
gallon
back. Oh, we got it again. Are you covering your mic with... Your thumb is over your mic, Kaizen. Your thumb is over your mic.
Oh, it's not. I've got
Not anymore.
background noise.
There, you're back. You're back.
You're
Say
back.
it again.
My
You're back.
back.
Yeah.
I think my
Cutting out. We can't hear you.
You're out.
That's so bad. It's okay, Kaizen. You're saying like
You can
Happy
put it in
birthday.
the live stream chat. Happy birthday.
Hey!
we have to talk in sign language. It's okay, Kaizen. Thank you.
Yeah, you can put it in the live stream chat.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Have you guys ever been on Rockfin?
What's that?
It's another streaming
that?
site. And I feel like as YouTube becomes increasingly inhospitable to alternative political narratives, we might need to look at other sites. So I was watching Lee Camp. What? God. Has he been on our show? I feel like he has. It was someone who was like kind of like him. I don't know. I don't think he's been on our show. Has he? Ariel, was Lee Camp on the show? I don't think he was.
Camp, who's that?
There was someone who like reminds you of Lee Camp who was on the show. I don't know. It was a guy. He was a political guy. And he was saying how he was on, Rockfin and Facebook and YouTube at the same time, and maybe other streaming sites. And he's streaming all these sites like from his own. I wonder how is he individually? Does he have the bandwidth to project all those streams himself from his home, or is he using a restreaming service?
I think it's like a Streamlabs OBS kind of deal.
Yeah. So you can like split the signal because we should really be
Right.
on Rock. It'd be, maybe I should start splitting instead of. I mean, my original idea was like if someone runs each stream, that would be ideal because we'll have less lag without using a restreaming service, and there, no complications that might arise from that. Who knows what else might? I don't. I've never used one successfully, except one time when I had some help with Diston. And there's a ton of lag. So I thought if like someone else ran the Twitch and I ran the YouTube, and if we were doing any other, if it was a Facebook stream or something, and eventually, I don't know, since it's a multi-person format show, everyone could just run a different stream, but that hasn't been happening. So I wonder if I should just start trying to use a restreamer again and get like a Rockfin for us going, and also I'll do a Twitch so we can have a consistent stream on other platforms. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's the
sounds like
first
a
time
good
I
idea.
ever
What's
heard
that?
of Rockfin. What's Rockfin?
ROKFIN. Look it up. It's a new site. There's also a site called Knowly with a K, like knowledge. That's like another alternative YouTube for specifically educational, non-fictional, like just informative content. So like we really should branch out. It would be cool if, and maybe, I mean, either I could stream all these sites, or an individual could be like, okay, I'm going to take care of our Rockfin. And someone else be like, I'm going to take care of our Twitch. I'm going to take care of our Facebook. Because I am the person who takes care of our YouTube. But that would be the person would have to like actually, put time in to it.
Well, I just found out my new gaming computer sucks ass, so I'm gonna.
What's wrong with your new
Look
gaming
up-
computer?
It has a bad graphics card. I didn't really
Oh, you just-
research my.
Put a bad card in. Well,
I know.
it can't
My
do what you
graph-
want it to do?
Yeah, I thought it would do what it wanted to do, what I wanted it to do, but it's like lagging. I don't know why. So I might switch over to my laptop, my Razer laptop, so it's way better in specs. So I mean, I can do the Twitch part maybe if
Maybe.
if we need somebody that has enough audience, but I don't have enough audience. But I mean, I can stream regardless.
Oh,
Like,
no. I mean on the Yang Gang Roundtable Twitch account. I don't mean on yours.
Right.
So,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
Yeah,
our
all you need
audience.
is
It's
the
a
username and password.
logistical, technical thing. I don't have the
yeah.
bandwidth to project 4 streams, or even really 2.
I could
So-
do one. I have enough. Yeah, I don't know. You can DM me info like if you
Okay,
want.
yeah, that'd be great. Other people have run a Twitch stream before, like Ariel's done it. I'm always trying to find someone to do it consistently, but I'm the only person who comes to every single episode, and I don't think we need someone else to come to every. I mean, maybe we do. I hate making asks of people, but I don't know. I don't want to
I
ask
could
someone to
try.
come to every
I have
episode.
a question.
Yes.
The town in Mali you're running in, is it called Mali itself on the Big Island?
Oh,
Maui.
Maui.
Oh,
Maui.
Maui.
Okay.
Not Molly.
Named after the popular club drug.
Like it's spelled Maui. Maui.
The Big Island. yeah.
Maui.
I had a friend in when I was in
No.
elementary school. I had a friend from Maui.
No,
I always thought it was exotic.
the Big Island is not Maui.
Big Island is Big
That's
Island.
Hawaii.
The Big Island's not
Sorry.
Maui. I was wrong.
No.
See, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole
What's
island
the Big
chain.
Island? Just called the Big Island.
Yeah, Big
Yeah.
Island is our
Hawaii.
Kona.
It's big. Yeah.
Which one do you live on?
Yeah. I'm on
The-
Maui.
You're on Maui.
Yeah.
Which is
And
like,
there's another
is
one,
Maui the best island?
No, Oahu. Oahu is the best.
Oahu is the what's the best about Oahu?
I've been to Oahu.
Honolulu, Oahu is the
capital.
capital. Right.
So
Yeah.
so what's the best about Oahu?
There's
It
way
has
more
stuff.
diversity. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's more
Well,
activities.
I mean, right. If you like nature and stuff, Maui's your place. But if you want to see like the city and like activity and stuff,
Oh, Maui's
That's
got
on
the biggest volcano, right?
no, that's Big Island.
no, that's
Okay,
We
I
have the
clearly don't know what I'm
tallest
talking. I don't know Hawaii.
So
my,
Maui-
my Hawaii geography is pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So Maui
I
has
mean-
Haleakala. Haleakala is like the tallest mountain, and it's that's where observatories are, and that's where the most clearest sky is. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
that's where there's a lot of observatories because of the clear sky and stuff. That's why
I
Maui is
remember-
like popular too.
Have you been to the Keck Observatory? I know.
The Keck?
No, I-
K-E, was it K-E-K? Keck? Really?
K-E-K-K-E-C-K.
If I had
that.
the
Keck,
chance, I would have.
Like top
I
Keck?
I know one of my I know one of my aunties that worked for the observatory, so maybe I can get a hookup, like like I get like whatchamacallit, like a free pass to
Right.
like tourist the observatory.
Is
Isn't
that
Keck-
in Maui or somewhere else?
I don't know. Let me double check.
Keck is like LOL for like Alliance WoW players, right? Because in Alliance,
Something.
if you type
no.
LOL into World of Warcraft and you're playing Alliance, it'll come out as KEK if you're a Horde player looking at an Alliance player because it scrambles the language.
Yeah, that's mostly WoW.
So Alliance, so like a Warcraft player started saying Keck instead of LOL, like
yeah.
in their day-to-day lives.
Well, it's
I-
also an observatory.
I don't play Warcraft. I know this because I played once for 1 month.
It's on
I would play
Moana.
the free version. After that, I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
It's on Moana Kea. You know, it's funny. They're saying
Mauna
like,
Kea. You pronounce it Mauna
that's
Kea.
Mauna Kea. Yeah. Actually, like, what island was Obama from?
Oh yeah, he's from Hawaii.
I think he said Oahu.
Mhm.
I don't remember. It's been a while already.
I think my friend was
Yeah.
from the Big Island. I had my friend in elementary school who introduced me to Hawaii. He moved to New York, and it was like cold, and he hated it here. He's like he couldn't surf, and I was like, oh yeah, that does seem like those are things Hawaii would have. Yeah, Hawaii seems pretty good. He had a Sega CD. Man, those are the days. This has nothing to do with
One
anything.
of your friends went to Hawaii. One went.
No,
to
one of my
New
friends
Zealand?
was from Hawaii.
They had the right idea. Oh, from Hawaii.
Yeah, when I was in elementary school, I'm just talking, just filling the space. But like, this is
Right.
what I associate with Hawaii. Like, I remember when I was like 10, 11 years old, I must have been. My friend with the Sega CD was from Hawaii, and I'd go over there, we'd play Sherlock Holmes and Golden Axe and Streets of Rage, and he'd tell me about how Hawaii was great, how he missed it, and New York was too cold, and he liked to surf, and I was like, man, surfing does seem cool. And he also liked Pogs. Pogs were from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you imagine like surfing in like Staten Island or something, or like it wouldn't even the water wouldn't even feel like.
People
That's
do it.
weird.
People surf in, like
do
Staten. People surf in New York Harbor, and like, it's not a big wave, and they're cold, but they're like, I've done it. I've surfed, and I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you make do, right? You do what you
Right.
can where you are with what you have to work with.
Exacto.
Yes. Anyway, did you look up the thing?
Keck?
What?
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
It's a meme.
Oh yeah, I know. Keck is a meme. Top Keck was a thing that was going around for a long time. Top Keck was the funniest thing you've ever seen. I don't know.
Yeah.
My head is filled with garbage, everybody. This is what I do.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Well,
Don't worry
Internet
about it.
trash.
Me too. Me too.
Yes.
I know what's his name. I know Congress needs a big kick in the ass.
Congress is the top Keck of our time. The laughing
Right.
stock. Oh, I've got a pound of cure for Congress.
Right, yeah. right upside their head.
I got a
Like right.
pound of cure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, this has been an unstructured episode.
Right. No, well I guess it's
Which
like
is
you said,
fine.
it's half
This is
and
like a
half.
public house. We sit
like,
here and
it's
we
like
talk.
half shooting the shit and half like important stuff. But the thing is, where did the phrase "shooting the shit" even come from? Like, who the hell thought of that? It's like just talking. It's like, okay, like let's get our shooter. It's like, so instead of like like those things that they would like launch those paintings in the air and they'd shoot them, like would they
Yeah.
like launch poop in the air and shoot that?
I don't
like
think so.
it's like
I
where the hell
doubt
did
that.
that come from even?
That's a good question.
I think it's just getting stuff off your mind. That's
Yeah, I mean,
the definition of it.
Yeah.
in a world where we're being gaslit all the time by people who
Right.
either are deliberately misleading us or have been misled and
Yeah.
are vehemently sure they're right. It's good to
Yeah.
get together with other people who understand the way things are and reaffirm that things are indeed the way they seem, that we are not crazy, that the other
Yeah.
people are wrong. They've been deluded for whatever reason, and we must do something to fix it. So
Well, that's
we will
because,
get
like,
together every
yeah.
weekend until the situation changes.
Right. Okay, so
Yep.
to chat or converse aimlessly or casually without any serious topic of conversations.
There you
As in, customers always want to shoot the shit with me in the store before they buy something. I just shoot the shit with John for a while when he passed me on the street. Okay. So, like, but I still think that phrase sounds kind of dumb. So, yeah.
Just talk.
How about you, the fat?
We're just talking. Yeah, exactly. That would mean
Or
that
bullshit.
We're just talking about anything. But I guess.
How about
like,
we're just gonna bullshit?
Yeah, you
Yes.
can do that too.
I wonder if that's an outgrowth of shoot the shit, as far as
Yeah,
the
yeah.
etymology of the
you know,
term.
but that's the thing that I always hated about like when people would come up to you and be like, "Yeah, what's up?" and I'm like, "Okay, like I don't like that." It's like what the hell do you think is it's like
Don't
the
like
same
the approach.
crap that's been going on for decades is the same crap that's going on now. Or they say like, "Oh, how was your day at school?" I mean, it sucked.
It was school.
Like
What do you
what
want?
the hell? It's
Friends
school. Like
know.
school's terrible. Like what do you
Another
think
day
it?
of imprisonment and indoctrination.
Another day of like imprisonment, having some idiot lie to you about some stupid crap that you're never gonna use, and then worrying about an upcoming test or project or whatever the hell they decided to pull out of their ass.
Right.
It's not gonna help me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the best thing that can happen at school is that there's less of it. You go out,
Right,
it
yeah.
breaks early, or you watch a video instead of doing it,
Right.
or there's a free period instead of doing school.
Right.
It's the worst.
And I don't understand why they call them periods. It's like
Yeah.
are the ladies
A period of
getting
time.
their- right?
What would you call it? Time slot?
Or a time slot, or like just slot, or I don't know. I mean, that
A
sounds
section.
dumb too.
A section of class to
A
spend
section,
time.
yeah, section would be better. There you go, Refluent. Section, like first section, second section, third section, I guess. But then it would be kind of like more like science class, or like you're dissecting something, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
But I say section does sound better than period. Period is now that I think about it,
It's time for
dumb.
math section.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
But we would always say like first period, second period, third, and all that other crap. And also, what they didn't understand is they thought that like instead of like uh teachers, no, the kids getting out of class and going to another class, the teachers could go into the class instead of all the kids having to get out. But then they
Mhm.
said if it was like a science room with all like the science whatever the hell on the wall, or the math room with all the math, then that really wouldn't work. But why don't you just create like a multi-purpose room, and then instead of but who cares? School is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all just it's all just like one big stupid story they tell you, and then when the
Right.
story finally finishes, you find yourself right back where you freaking started, and you're like, okay, well, what the fuck was that? And then you go into like the job world, and then they're like, hey, guess what? We don't care about how good your grades were. We don't care about like what school you even went to. We just want you to like sell our crap.
Mhm.
God.
And I
I
have a
feel like-
great example back in English class back in I think it was freshman year of high school. We learned about hyperboles in English, and my teacher was saying, "Oh, you're probably never going to need to use in your life." Like, yeah, I figured that
Yeah.
out after the first 5 minutes being in here.
Go figure. Right? Yeah. I
Hyperbole.
mean that's the thing. Like I can't believe it. It's like, hey, idiots, you want to know what a good idea is? Just show us like a company, bring
Yeah.
the business in, like let's go see like how do they work with banking, with finance, with product flow, with customer service. Like why didn't we learn any of that, idiot? It's like, it's they're so stupid. It's mind-boggling. Like it's like sometimes you think about how dumb these things really are and you start getting a headache. It's like,
Well, I hope school will evolve though. School has to evolve some kind of way because people are tired of like the same bullshit every day. So I don't know. We gotta complain more about it, more about school.
yeah, or we gotta like protest or something because it's bad. Like if I had kids, I'm not saying I will, but like I'd never send them there in a million years. I'd
Yeah.
say like
Right.
what? So, like I should send you somewhere where some narcissistic, sociopath is gonna waste your time with crap that you're never gonna use to give you a future that's not even existing. Like what am I, an idiot? They're idiots. It's amazing.
Unless you go to like was it like you're sending to another country in for schooling? What is that called? Transfer
Um,
student. Transfer. Like what if like I think
right, yeah.
like one
Oh,
of my
you mean,
cousins.
are you talking about foreign exchange?
Yeah, foreign exchange. What if we had that? We should
Right.
do that instead of
Right, yeah,
like
we should do like foreign exchange, or we can just do like state exchange. Doesn't even
that
need
would
to
be
be
sick.
foreign. Yeah,
That would be sick though.
yeah, and not only that,
You have more
but then
culture.
we should do like a business like freaking exchange program. Here, this is a company that's near the school. Go in and see what the hell they're doing over there. You know, like that,
Right.
and then the stupidest thing is when you get out of school and then they're like, oh well, oh you don't have any experience. Well, oh wait, 12 years wasn't enough time for these dumb shits to like let us, have experience at some kind of company or some kind of something. You'd think that in those 12 years that you morons would actually like show us how all these things work, and we don't even need college. Like you just say like, oh, you're ninth grade. Well, okay, you can read, you can write, you can do math, you can like articulate yourself. Learn this business, or like test out this skill or trade or whatever the hell. We don't need to waste your time on this shit that you're never going to use, you know. And then it's like, oh, and you didn't do that, and we went through your piece of shit system, and then now you're blaming us for being inefficient when it's the inefficient thing that you created, that you made us go through, that made us inefficient, motherfucker. It's like I get really mad, but
And
yeah.
that's what the
Okay.
Iowa tests were all about in Iowa,
Mhm.
because I had to take the Iowa test back in grade school. And I
Mhm.
remember back in fourth grade, maybe it was third, I think, no, it was middle school. That was the last time I took
Yeah.
Fiesta. And I remember my teacher said, Bieber, she was like my study teacher or something, said, oh, we're actually testing the teachers, really, not the students. I'm thinking, wait a minute, then why are we taking the teachers are being tested? And this has been going on for like this.
Because it's
weird.
like a cycle. Here,
Yeah.
like I went through this, stupid shit that never helped me. So I'm
Right.
gonna make you go through it. It's like it wasted all of my time. So let's make sure that all of your time is wasted too.
I
That's
know.
how we build our society. It's like fucking idiots. It's so embarrassing. Seriously. It's just like, oh well, my parents beat me up, so why shouldn't your parents have to beat you up? Because it doesn't work, you fucking asshole.
And here's the bizarre thing. We were doing Iowa tests at one of the top 10 schools in New York County, Clarkstown. I was thinking, wait a second, they're doing this here? So this proves even if a school is better in a place like Rockland County, New York, it doesn't even matter because it's still the same crap.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. Which actually you reminded me, like I have cousins and they went through like private school, but they
Yeah.
still don't know the first thing about business or money
Right.
or all these things. So it's like these expensive religious private schools that didn't even teach them like the basics of life. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, is this a joke? It's just bad, and no matter what. Like, so don't get too jealous of like these rich kids because they're just as confused as you, man. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
True.
Just the whole system is just designed by sociopaths to create confused sheep. It's like,
Well, let me ask you this. Thinking about this the last few years, because Gen Z is, I guess, going into high school now. Do you think
right.
it's for them than it was for us over 10 years?
If it was better
No,
for them or for us,
I'm kind of scared. Look, we got the same education that the boomers got, and I think they are too. And this
Yeah.
is scary because we have
Yeah.
all these wrinkled up, stupid fucks in our government that need to they're expiring soon. So like, did you hear Biden? Like, I'm still holding
I know.
on to that torch, Jack. Ah, yeah.
I know.
Idiot. Anyway, let go of the freaking torch before the whole place gets lit on fire and everybody
Right.
dies. Like it's
But
even the guy running.
oh, sorry.
Even the guy running against Biden said he came to like my school when I was like 3 years old and said it's time for like a new generation to like take up, something. And here he is, old, running against me, not letting the new people. You know what it reminds me of? If a long time ago we used to have our arcades, and it's like a kid who's constantly losing at an arcade game, not giving you a
Right.
turn, telling you that you'll lose if you add a turn. That's these son of a bitches. Yeah, go ahead.
But do you think Gen X is trying to change like the teaching system? Because I noticed when I had a Gen X teacher years ago, like, wow, he's really trying harder. He's more uppity. It's not like this boring boomer back when I was in middle school that want all these weird ideas like Mrs. Kaiser, my old English teacher.
Maybe Gen X, or they're trying to change it for Gen Z.
I think so. I noticed that when I had the last year I was in high school, which was the only good class I actually had in history class.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. They're outnumbered, but
Yeah.
there could be some
there's
hope on the horizon.
for me, for my experience, that there's a lot of different teachings than the mainland because for me, my high school, we did had a lot of we called it ACOM and DECA, and we had like for hospitality businesses, and we had classes for that. We had classes for business like marketing. We had like business administration classes. Like we it some and it was a public school, and we had we had a lot of opportunity, but then even then, so our generation is still keeping struggles we from the last generation, so it's still weird. I feel like, but I feel like that's beginning to change over the course of the generations we go through. It's because it's a cycle. It's gotta change some way or another. So you know. So I mean, that's just a different perspective from Ariel's
Yes.
perspective. So
It's a vicious cycle for sure. I mean, we gotta stop it, but this nonsense has been set in motion and propagated, way before we were born, and that's kind
right,
of like the problem. It's like we were already like too late to the party when we came out, and we didn't have any power when we were under 18. I mean, nobody listens to you when you're under 18, and then when you turn 18, they give you your rights and responsibilities at the same time. So that's the stupid thing about our childhood, is that after like before your 18th birthday, you're not given the rights, and you're just kind of given the rights and the responsibilities at the same time, so it's too overwhelming, as opposed to having like a transition, like a phase in of the rights and the responsibilities, instead of just being told, oh, you're 18 now, okay, that's that, all of a sudden you're magically a different person.
Mhm.
Idiots. or 21 or whatever number that they like pulling out of their stupid ignorant asses.
Right. It's part of the child worship thing that Jordan talked about years ago in his stand-up days.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think there's a magic number where you just know things. Everybody's, life and experiences, range, and age has nothing to do with it. And I don't know where the hell they get off making these laws. Our laws are made by idiots who
Mhm.
vote in idiots to produce more idiots who create idiots. It just goes on. And it's like, hey, we need people with like brains, people who think things through. People, not people who do the thing that's just like most popular or most exciting or thing just for giving it. It's a mess. But hey, it's our job to clean up that mess, whether we like it or not.
Yes, sir.
Kind of like the bull went into the china shop, kind of like before we were born, and now we have to. I don't know. We have to put everything back together.
Yeah.
Piece by piece, baby.
Yeah, I don't even understand why they call the plates chinas. Like they're not even Chinese. Or are they?
Oh my god.
Like, do plates even have an
Porcelain.
nationality?
You just call it porcelain, and then, even then, it's still sort of
Right, yeah. It's like,
holding.
can you imagine like calling the plates Philippines or something, or
Yeah. No, porcelain, like the type
porcelain?
of
Yeah,
yeah.
porcelain, but still, they call it a China. Like they don't call it
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Japan. They don't call
yeah, not a Japan plate. Japanese plates. No, that still doesn't ring.
like they don't even call sushi a Japan. Even though,
Oh, you want to eat Japan food?
Japan,
Japanese food?
right? Japanese.
I mean, Japanese food
No.
is a thing,
Yeah, but so is Chinese food. But the
Yeah.
plates are just called Chinas, so it's
Right, yeah.
uh,
Now
a
I
little.
get it.
I don't know. They're called Chinas. Gonna look that.
Nah, I'm not gonna. It's already
Why
funny.
are plates called China?
Yeah, right? I never get that.
Yeah.
This is
Like,
where
do they
we
come
landed, huh?
from there? It's like a design. Okay, hang on. It's called China in English because it was made in China. Oh, okay.
Wow, there's a big
Sorry.
surprise. That's a really stunning
Ex-
origin. Gosh.
Well, I mean, I don't understand. Okay, so if like Americans made plates, would the Chinese call them Americas?
Yes.
Wait,
What do you think of American cheese?
USA.
Right? Yeah. No, but the
American
cheese isn't
cheese is
called,
like American government is like American cheese, not
right.
I don't
real
like version.
government.
but they wouldn't call like the cheese an America. Like,
No.
oh, go to the fridge and get me some Americas I can put on my sandwich.
They should. A grilled
Right?
America sandwich.
That would sound really
Delicious.
stupid.
I think some people in Japan do that. They have like in McDonald's they have a local moco.
Like, can you imagine going to McDonald's and telling the guy, yeah, put some Americas in that sandwich?
Yeah, I think they actually do.
Yeah, just
They
make
actually
that person
would
hate their
extra
job a little bit more.
And
I
another
remember some
thing,
kind of video talking.
another thing I find weird is that some kids, their name is Christian, but then like, would anybody name their kid Jew or Buddhist? You know, like okay, Buddhist, come here. Like,
Maybe
my
Buddha.
name is Jew. What?
Maybe you
Buddha.
could name your kid Buddha.
Yeah,
If you're, like,
Buddha.
super
Yeah,
cool.
but you okay, so Mexicans are okay. Let's think about it. Okay, so some Spanish people, their names are like Jesus,
Like Jesus, yeah.
right? Like Jesus. But the thing is, like, would you name somebody like? But Christian is the religion, right?
Right,
It's
yeah.
not Jesus and Christianity. Okay, so the name
This
is
is my friend
Christian.
Jewish. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, this is my friend Jew. Say hi, Jew.
Judaism.
Oh,
this
hey,
is
that's Jew over
Jewish.
there. It's like, yeah, I'm Jew Smith. Like my
It's the
first name is
adjective
Jew
form.
and my last name is Smith. You know?
It's the adjective
Like-
form of the religion. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
The
Or, you know,
descriptor.
my name, like, okay. But here's the thing, though. Muslim kids, some of their names are like Islam.
Yeah.
So there's that, but their names aren't Muslim. So that's interesting. But then would that be the same thing as like naming a kid like Christianity, which would be even more
Yeah.
weird.
That would be even weirder.
Like,
The best thing to
right?
name yourself is a
Like,
present tense verb like sting. That's the way to go.
We're naming
Right.
them
My
Shinto
name is
out of
Capture,
shrimp.
or my name is Eat.
Yeah.
My name is
Right.
Christian.
My name is Tweak, right?
Sweet.
Sting, Crash. Those are all mischievous, cool names.
Right. Yeah. This
All
is so
present
funny.
present tense verbs. That's the way. The way to go.
Like sometimes it's just so fun to just look at how like ridiculous things actually really are, and we're just pretending that they're normal. It's
Yeah, hypernormalization.
Normalized.
is,
Right. That was the best.
I was watching a
Good one,
documentary on hypernormalization before this started.
Right.
I'll get back to it later.
Hypernormalization.
It's just started.
yeah. But then why can't things be crazy in a good way instead of a way that sucks?
Because
Like,
then,
that's the question, right?
then the people who are, running the healthcare racket and all the other little mafias that are keeping us under their thumb wouldn't be getting their money.
Right. But isn't there a way to like I love like when somebody just becomes a gesture and just like mocks the crap out of them.
That's why we all
just
love
so
the Joker
fun.
these days. That's why it's the most popular fucking character in America is the Joker.
Right, yeah.
You
No,
identify with him.
like he had the most justified story in the last one.
Well,
Like,
in his
yeah,
movie,
of course,
but yeah.
he was lashing out at just an evil society, constantly being nasty.
He's
to
the
him.
hero we all need
He's-
now.
Right. He's the hero we all need now.
What?
Like I'm
The
not
Joker
gonna
is the
lie.
hero we all need.
It was
Yeah.
satisfying to see
That's
him
how bad
shoot
things
those
are.
pricks. You know, it was so. You know, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
Batman is invested in the status quo, which is untenable. So
Right.
we need the
well,
Joker.
isn't Batman just like a spoiled trust fund?
Well, he's a
baby?
billionaire. That's the problem,
Right, yeah. Oh, this was so funny. Like, if you ever watch some of those like YouTube channels that do these cartoon things, there was one where like it made it like Batman was being sent to a Occupy Wall Street protest,
Well, it's pretty funny.
and then like they were telling the protesters were telling Batman to like go after the billionaires, and then Batman was like, "But they're creating jobs. No, we really should do this."
That's really funny.
Yeah, it was really hilarious.
Oh man, I wish that were a real Batman comic.
Right, yeah.
Like a side Batman.
Right. It
Side
was
quest.
so funny.
Batman beating up on these poor mentally ill people just trying to hustle. No good.
Jeez.
And then there was one where he was beating up on a criminal that was an orphan, and he said, like, I know what it is how hard it is sometimes to put caviar on the table.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
That he was relating to them being an orphan, but couldn't relate to them being poor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are comics like that, I think, that exist.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Let me see if I can get that. It's so funny. It's called Dorkly, and they.
Oh, yeah.
Like if Nintendo characters were like sentient, and here it's called Why Batman Isn't Really Tragic at All.
Right. I think I remember that.
It's so funny. Here, let me share it in the live stream. So after this, or whenever you want, you can all see it. It's really funny. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I think our system was like deliberately designed to destroy like our critical thinking faculties, so that way like that's why everything is in order, and like everything in school is like, oh, just do it, and just that you do it because for the sake of itself and don't argue with us.
Mhm.
So then like you get old and then you don't really say like, hey, can I just take a moment to like scratch my head and really think about what's going on? And it's like, no, work, busy. It's like,
Yeah.
right. It's like I remember one time there was like I was in a science class in middle school, and I just kind of like put my uh hand under my chin in like a thinking pose, and then like the teacher looked at me. He's like, "You're too busy to not be doing anything." It's like,
What the heck?
well, fuck you. No,
Yeah.
because it was like study mode or something, or they used to have these periods
That
called like
harkens back
study
to something
hall.
you were talking about earlier. You were saying how what I extrapolated from what you were saying was like,
Hustle
people are critical of people for not putting in the effort when their method is completely counterproductive. So all effort
Right.
is moot. And that's that
Right.
that this teacher is like, you're too, you should be busy. Like there's virtue in
Right.
there's no virtue in busyness is what we really have to get
Right.
across. To say it succinctly, I think
Right.
we need to just start succinctly saying things to people like just there's no virtue in busyness.
Yeah.
Like just simple, irrefutable statements like that when we see Twitter posts like about hustle porn, and then leave. Don't argue. Just leave it there, and then mute.
Right. Yeah. Fuck them. Fuck all
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. Like just
Like-
let the algorithm do what it's going to do. Like you don't owe that person an argument, but you do. Go ahead. Say your word, because they're just going to parrot the
And then
same shit
adios.
you've heard before. So
Yeah. Like could you imagine? Yeah. It's kind of like the thing where it's like, oh, like you want to hustle to the end of the
Right.
line or something like that, but it's like I have this helicopter
Mhm.
and you have this old jalopy car, so
Yeah, but we
doesn't
are the
matter
same.
how
It's your
hard-
fault that you failed, and it's my merit that I succeeded on. Ignore the
Right.
helicopter.
Right. Yeah.
That's America.
Shell.
Yeah, what's up?
Craig's not here anymore.
Yeah, he comes and goes. That's fine. If I need to
okay.
get the audio, he's probably still recording. If he's not, I'll get the audio from our a YouTube video. But thank you for letting me know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Discord is like Discord overloads Craig sometimes, and he falls off the face of
Okay.
the earth.
Yeah, Craig. And it's funny. Maybe Craig is also gets tired and he's
Well, he's
automated.
Or I don't know. Automation,
Right.
automation issue.
Maybe Craig is also like, hey, like maybe I need to take a rest too, and I don't like hustle porn either.
Maybe it's possible.
Like even though could you imagine, like, yeah, but even the robots would like tell their idiot owners like, hey, like you can afford to give these people like a lot more money now that we're working for you, you assholes.
Oh sure,
Yeah.
yeah. If the robots were crunching the numbers.
Right. The funny thing is like why don't you stop taxing people and start taxing robots?
Hmm.
The robots,
Korea, who are giving people a was it Korea? I think it's Korea. I was watching a video on it the other day.
I'm pretty sure
and they were talking about a robot tax. Like they are placing a robot tax on factories who have replaced their workers with robots. And they are giving people a basic income right now.
Well,
I mean, some people. It's not a nationwide program, but I think some provinces are trying it.
let's have a vote on it, and then let's see how many robots show up to vote.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that would be surprising.
Right. It's like, oh,
It doesn't matter. They'll just lose the box of robot votes in the back room anyway. Layers of corruption, layers of
Right.
broken.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that just opened a whole can of worms for me.
Right.
Welcome
But
to
that's
politics.
the thing. The robots are our friends. It's the people who own the robots that are our enemies.
Yep.
So that's the thing. We just gotta like have the robots working for us instead of them. It's like rise of the
Rise of the robots.
Skynet.
rise of the humans instead.
How are we gonna get you to be mayor of Maui, Rifflins? Let's brainstorm. Well, we've got spare time.
Yeah.
Lucas, what can we do for Refluence to help Refluence become the mayor of Maui?
I could help with phone banking. He could like
I
email.
feel like phone banking is a trap and a waste of energy. It's something that they tell
Really?
us to
Oh,
do, so we don't do something productive. Instead of phone banking, help raise Refluence's Twitch profile and like get some followers on his Twitch. That's what matters.
You could do that, or you could. I don't know. I still haven't set up a Patreon page or like a GoFundMe. I mean, I'm still trying to get my
So-
my living situation out of a rut. Still, so
Before
I
a
want to be
Patreon-
independent.
Yeah, before a Patreon or GoFundMe page, sorry to cut you off, you want an audience. Because
Right.
you don't want to, you're just going to demoralize yourself if you set it up and it's sitting there and like, now people can pay me, and they don't.
Right.
And it's also, people will be reluctant to join like a stale Patreon if it's got like 1 or 0 patrons and it's been active for 8 months, you know? So
Yeah.
I really would recommend starting your Patreon after you have an audience, and when you launch it, dedicate 6 weeks to promoting it, because it is an all-encompassing endeavor. I speak from experience. I've got a Patreon for my songwriting group, which, you know, totally different from this, but you got to do
I
a
see.
lot of promoting, a lot, not to be intimidating, but launching
Yeah,
a
that's
Patreon is
why-
like, it has to be your singular focus for some time. So why don't we start by raising your profile? You want to be a streamer who streams games and has an audience. So let's start.
Yeah.
We'll start there. It doesn't have, you know, so it's you know, start streaming regularly on your Twitch.
Oh yeah, I haven't been doing that. Lately
So
because,
there's a couple of tips,
like,
like schedule
yeah.
your streams in advance, do the same time every week, and do it, you know,
Yeah.
try to do it at least every 2 days if you can. I know maybe that's too big an ask, but
I mean, yeah, I was
you
doing
do
that,
once,
and then
once
I
or twice
lost
a week. Start once a
motivation,
week, you know. Start once a week,
Yeah.
same time every week. Grow an audience.
I have an idea. I just thought of it because I did this with my state senator last year, James
Mhm.
Maroney. He can go like door to door. I don't know how big his town or city is, but like door to door, like, or I don't know, maybe your neighborhood or something, and tell them about it.
Yeah. I've done that before. Like I went to door for like my high school, like selling, like food. Like
Yeah.
we would have like tickets and we'd sell the ticket to
Door
get
knocking.
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
A candidate
but-
door knocking, that does matter. Like, that's
yeah.
great.
I mean, I have to brainstorm. We have to brainstorm a lot more, but I mean, there's methods and ways to do it. But
If you're going
I-
to door knock, like, you should bring a little gift or something that will make people like you, because
Right.
what would make someone think if you got door knocked, like some politician you never heard of is coming to knock on your door. I'm not positively inclined about being like intruded on. So if they
Right.
give me like a chocolate bar or something, I'll be like, yeah, all right, I'll listen to you. So I'm
Yeah.
just thinking, like, you were selling food door to door. If you can get a little investment in your campaign, a couple of initial investors, buy a case of like Butterfingers or something. Like, you know, go buy an inexpensive candy bar. Give people a candy bar to listen to you or something. You got to bribe people, or
I
or they're
mean-
just gonna not want to listen.
I'm still on the spiritual path.
Yeah.
Like I'm not too inclined to do that yet. Like,
Okay,
I'm
you know
still
what?
not inclined
Then,
to do, like,
if it feels wrong, then don't do it. We'll drop that line.
yeah,
We're just brainstorming.
everything like you guys
All
are
right.
talking about. Like I'm still working on myself, and you know,
In that case,
like
work on your
like,
stump speech. You got to grab them with your first
Right.
15 seconds before they get too mad to keep listening.
Right. So yeah, the whole audience thing is just a bonus to me. Like I'm still trying to figure out myself. And like as
Okay.
for others, you should, you know, figure out yourself. Still,
Yes,
so.
that's you've got your priorities aligned, so that's good. Figure out yourself, then start
Yeah.
streaming weekly,
right.
then run for mayor.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I just want to hit on what you said right there, Shale. First, figure out yourself.
Yes.
And I think that's so important because, you know, when we grow up, and it's like we're projected onto by parents and schools and shit like that, like, you know, and then we're not taking the time to figure out ourselves. What do we like? Who, you know, where do we want to go? What do we see our lives? It's always like, like you're being told like, oh, you should do this and you should do that and you should like this and you should want this and you should want that. It's like, hey, it's not your life, it's mine. Figure it out, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah. And it's such a wonderful thing to be able to. I think that's what UBI can, like, you know, help people do. It's like, hey, now I have, you know, what I need. I can figure out myself. What do I like? Who do I want?
Yes.
What do I want?
Self-actualization. Where
Right.
you
it's a beautiful
learn
thing.
what you really want to do, who you really are, or you know what you're really capable of, and then you're able to do it. You're empowered to be your best
Right.
self. That's self-actualization. And that's what people with money have, and when you give it to everyone in the nation thrives. Everyone wins.
Right.
Yeah.
But some sociopaths, the
don't
only
want
joy
inflation,
that
yeah.
they get in life is that some people have to be below me or else I can't be happy. If I don't know if this person is, it's such a gross
It's pretty sad.
way looking at. Yeah, it's pretty sad. And I don't know, people like that need to go. They need to have their asses kicked.
They gotta go. I agree.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nothing good comes from people like that.
They should
It's like
leave.
this-
As far as
Yeah.
like physically getting their asses kicked, I don't think anyone should really be like physically beaten. I'm not a violent person. I do not advocate violence. But if you
Nope.
know, look,
like
if
verbally-
people spray paint things on people's homes, I may be inclined to look the other way. I may not chastise that because we're in a very bad place where we're a disempowered populace being oppressed, and desperate times call for desperate measures. So
Yeah.
whatever happens, I'm not going to chastise people. Don't hurt anyone ever. Don't be violent.
Yeah.
Short of that, whatever works. I just hope someone will do something that works. Anything, you know. At this point, we're dying. People are dying.
Yeah.
This country is like over.
I
We
think
don't
I
have
like
a
the way
representative
that
government. We don't have
you,
we don't have consent of the
Yeah,
governed.
I,
so.
I like the way that you stood up for Izzy that one time. You know, it was kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It got kind of awkward, but at least you said, like, you know, he doesn't need any more repeats from places that are institutional
Yeah,
trying to tell him.
I wasn't trying
do, you know?
to you know take a side or talk down to Mia or chastise Mia. Just trying to bridge a communication gap because everyone had good intentions there. Where Mia was like, you know, here, this will help you. She's trying to give some heartfelt, good advice that actually just wasn't
Right.
as applicable, I think, as she thought. And it was something that had been used by people.
Right.
It was future faking. It was, you know, it was like it's part of that.
Right.
People will just
Yeah, exactly.
placate you with some sort of blanket
Yeah.
advice that isn't particularly applicable. Mia wasn't doing that, but Izzy has trauma, and he was triggered
Right.
because what Mia was saying was remotely similar. So, and Izzy's
Right,
so
yeah.
sensitive. He's in so much pain. He is at like a 10 all the time. He cannot handle anything, you know? And that's not to talk down to Izzy. It's just the system has placed him in a bad place. We all are where the system puts us. We have much less control
you
over.
just brought up a really good point. I watched this video a few years ago with what was her name? The girl who was on Mar, and she part of this organization now, and she created this great video 2 years ago during the midterms. Maybe it was three. or four.
What was this person from?
I forgot her name, but she was on Bill Maher's show a few years ago.
Bill Maher he's kind of a piece of shit.
No, I know. But she made a good point.
Yeah, I'm sure. Not everyone on a show is a piece of shit.
Represent Us. That's what it was called. Represent Us. That came out.
Represent
Represent
us?
us. Oh yeah, represent.
This is a
Yeah.
mononym
It's
person, a person with
and-
one name, like Madonna.
But,
Not her name. I know she has blonde hair. I forget. her name.
Represent.
represent.
No, they're an organization.
Oh,
in,
okay. I was saying that it sounds like a superhero or something.
Represent-
No, it's not. It's not. It's a really political.
All right.
organization.
All right, I see.
Okay. Can I share it? I'm not-
Yeah, put it in the live
Yeah,
stream chat.
there.
Let's see. I'll broadcast it here.
I'll let you chat. Okay.
All right. Ariel is typing represent us, the
And
organization.
Yeah,
here's their
represent.
link. Wait, let me get.
They
Represent
fight
us.
against corruption. Yeah.
This is their video. If you want to check it out.
Oh, that's their website.
Oh, this is yes, but this is their YouTube video they did a while ago.
Unbreaking America, Divided We Fall. There you
Yeah.
go. Oh, represent.us.
That's their website.
Nice. Cool.
I see.
End corruption, defend the public.
Well,
Yeah.
first I gotta watch the hypernormalization video first, which is like the whole day.
Did I put that in the chat? I think I did.
What's that? Hypernormalization?
Yeah, it's a video that I was watching before I came here. I'll put it in the chat after
Oh,
the.
okay.
It's in there.
Okay.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a video my friend Larry Fine sent me on. He's tweeted on hypernormalization, and I've heard the term, and I have a vague sense of it, but I'd like to have a better sense. So I was watching this documentary on it, and it's what we're talking about. It is the established media narrative, the media/elite narrative that we've been fed that does not match the real state of the world, which is much more nuanced than.
I found her name finally.
What is it?
What is it?
You remember Jennifer Lawrence? She's the one who talks about. I think she
Jennifer
kind of
Lawrence. Kind of remember Jennifer Lawrence from like the
Hollywood,
90s or something.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is that a sitcom?
Put it
or
in the
something?
chat, man.
Jennifer Lawrence. She was in one of the videos I remember.
Is it? It's not the actress, right?
No, but I'm not sure.
But it might be different.
No, it's the same one. Someone with blonde hair. Yeah, it's her. I think. Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we got our video. We got our homeworks.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's a famous actor. Yeah. I hate
Jennifer
that
Lawrence.
that word homework. I just think like we got our work to do, or maybe like our
Yeah.
thing, like, yeah. It's like homework. It's like school outside of school, like the way the system has its leash on you.
Yeah.
You're like
It's not a
let's
good word.
watch
It's
it.
like negative connotations for sure.
Yeah, right, yeah. But yeah, I guess that's
What about like
work to study.
job? No.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
we got our research.
research. Yeah, that's a better one.
Yeah,
Got our research to do over the next
yeah.
next day.
Deep diving. Yeah, it's hyper normalization. Well, I think like we have diaper normalization without older representatives.
That's a good one.
And the weird thing was, why are they making Dianne Feinstein run again? I think that's like the dumbest thing California would do.
What is?
Yep.
They
Dianne
want her to
Feinstein?
run again in 20.
Yeah, I know. She's gonna be like, oh, have you ever seen Futurama?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like one of those heads in a jar.
Yeah, with Nixon. That'd be funny.
Heads in a jar, dude. That's a throwback. That's a throwback for sure.
Right, like Nixon's head and like all of that. I swear I wouldn't put that beyond these corrupt assholes who just hold on to power no matter how long it takes. It's like they're gonna go like there's gonna be like a mummified congressperson.
I know.
That's sort of scary.
Yeah, it's like a mom. They're gonna like grab. Oh! Did you guys see the diss I gave to Dave Ramsey when he talked about like we shouldn't have to like give people the stimuluses and stuff because they have bigger problems.
No, I didn't see that.
I said, Mr. Ramsey, go back to your sarcophagus.
Gross.
Go back. You do know who Ramsey was. He was the pharaoh.
Right. That's
So
a-
it's like you should just go back to the pyramid.
yeah.
Like, Mr. Ramsey, let my people go. King Ramsey.
Ramses.
Yeah. Yeah. What a name. Ramsey. It's like, damn, I never knew Egyptians went down to like Tennessee and became like, then had southern accents. Shayla, are you hearing that? Oh, okay, cool. Ramsey, this is funny. Like who's next? Dave Tutankhamun?
Ooh.
You guys are ancient Egypt.
That would be actually scary though.
Does he walk like an Egyptian?
Walk like Egyptian.
I like the criticism that Joe Manchin he's a mansion man, you know?
Right, yeah, that's for sure.
Even though it's spelled Manchin, people are like, associating it with.
He's like a no. It's actually I looked it up. It's Italian. His actual name was Mancini or something like that. They changed it to Manchin. Mancini. Italians aren't supposed to be pieces of shit. What the hell is wrong with this guy?
Well, who is Ariel? Come on, what kind of statement is that?
I don't know. Whatever. Are they?
No one
I'm
is
kidding.
supposed to be a piece of shit. It's nothing to do with Italy.
Yeah, whatever. Well, I guess since he's Ramsey, he has nothing to do with Egypt either.
Right. That's right.
Right.
My gosh.
They just get seduced by the dark side. If that's the thing. Was Anakin supposed to be a Sith? I guess. Oh, Sith! I'm tired of this Sith. Oh, what funny. Yeah. Mansion. Yeah, sure is a mansion, man. My personal favorite Macan job. Oh, Harry has joined us.
Harry, you're late.
He's like 4 minutes to go.
I know, right?
Right.
Nice to see you, man.
Okay, we've been having fun.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah, I was just cracking jokes over here,
Yeah.
laughing a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, not much has happened, but we're just talking about like whatever we could do for me, like growing audience and stuff.
Yeah, for mayor of Hawaii. I mean,
Oh,
Maui.
nice.
Maui, yeah.
Yeah,
Also known as Mom.
did you guys all see my ideas earlier about like getting in contact with a lot of like smaller like channels and content creators and stuff?
Yeah.
I missed that. I think.
Yeah, so I had the idea of like getting in contact like with smaller content creators and channels that are sort of like the kinds of people who get shafted from our overly centralized media hierarchy system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could like grow horizontally by like helping other YouTubers and content creators and helping get attention to their channels, and sort of grow a network that way, add people to the trickle up, even if they don't all like support Yang already, we could like,
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
yeah, because like there's too many really good content creators who just aren't being noticed by the kind of people who would like their content because like they don't know about them and the algorithms aren't really doing much to promote them,
Yeah, I know about that.
That's the struggle, man. I mean, it's what I've been putting up with. I mean, I think I'm going on a 10-year YouTube channel, and I hit 1,000, but that stupid watch time lifetime hours thing keeps going down because like my 2 biggest months was like when Yang dropped out. Following those months, now those months are gone, and they got me about like hundreds of watch hours that now I gotta redo to get them back. I don't know if you guys are playing my content on auto, but it really helps.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry, Ariel.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
I played so much of it that I kind of ran out of all the playlists you have on your channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can yeah, that's okay. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's well, hopefully it works. I mean, I'm putting out another episode on Sunday. I was just talking about it, and it was an episode against hustle porn. So that's
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting episode. I'll watch that one.
Yeah.
And
But Refluence, you should all watch the other two. The one that I did on political tribalism and what's the second one? Influencer culture, like cloud
Yeah.
influencer culture. Yeah.
yeah.
Those
You know, I
Okay.
think we should all be trying to promote each other's channels to other YouTube channels. Like, you know, like that, like we find people who we like, who we want to add to the Trickle Up. You know, we want to like let other people in the Trickle Up and other content creators know about them. You can say, hey, here's this content creator you guys might like or that your fans might like. You know, spread it around horizontally that way rather than just trying to climb the ladder. You know.
Right.
Right.
Spread the news.
Yep.
All right. That's cool. It's it, but you know, like this is the cool thing about like this being like friend relationships, and it's not a relationship about like uh fame and fortune and shit like that. Because
Right.
I've had before the Yang Gang, I like made friends with so many people that I could trust, that I thought I could like trust, and they're my friends and stuff. But then they all turned out to just be attention whores, or or they all end up like you said, like ghosting you, or like promising things and never following through, and then they disappear off the radar, and then they only get back to you when they need you, or they're trying to sell you on some stupid business opportunity, and it's like, okay, you know what, get the fuck out of my life.
Right. Or they're just so insecure themselves that they just
Right.
ignoring you because they think they're not good enough to be friends with you. And then it's like, and then
Right.
I think most people have a bit of that inferiority complex. And I only just realized today that I might be getting that reaction from some of the people who are ghosting me without realizing it.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting like how this whole ghosting thing works, because you know at one point like I thought like we were like best friends and we could really get along, and then at another point like they're totally different people, or I don't know, people like they're fucking
Yep.
weird, man. It's so like I really share like a genuine connection at times, and then like they disappear or they're a different person. It's
Yep.
like people have like fucking like 5 personalities these days, and you don't know like which one that they're gonna put on, and then it's like, but then the people in Yang Gang, like I know like they're not like that, or at least most of them aren't. Maybe some of them are, but most of us here, it's like I can always count on you guys to like have the
Yes.
same personality and not be different people depending on the day of time.
Well, I mean, one of the things I really like about the Yang Gang, at least this part of the Yang Gang so far, is that I'm free to be myself, and at least so far, and show all of the facets of my personality all at once,
Right.
rather than just some of them. You know,
Right.
Other people-
Rather than just the parts that you think that people get, like they'll be all like, okay, like I can't, you know. And,
Yeah.
but so, I think like at the time when Yang was running, like the Cool Kids Club kind of Yang Gang part was like inaccessible, and like
Yeah.
they were so focused on like their fame and fortune. But now that's getting better, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I think like I don't know, that there's some that are kind of high up there that think they're like in high society and they're too
Yeah.
cool for the rest of us. I don't know. You guys,
I think it's simpler than that. I think that they're just used to like doing things a certain way and like trying to, you know, change the leadership and incentivize the leadership to change. But in the process of trying to do that, they become the kind of leadership they're trying to change by not listening to the rest of us and not delegating to the rest of us as much as they should be. Because they, like a lot of the rest of us, well, not the rest of us here, but a lot of people, you know, think that, oh, well, if we just change who's in charge and get them to listen to us, but like it doesn't work that way. We have to actually do some of the work ourselves.
Right, yeah. It's fascinating how this is, and but the thing is that like I don't know. I think like Andrew Yang had like Zach Grauman as like his lieutenant, but
Yeah.
I'm just annoyed that a position like that doesn't cycle. I think it's important to have like positions cycle, so like it's not like a set freaking
Yeah.
hierarchy, you know?
Agreed.
And,
Well, I'm
and
gonna
I'm-
go have a meal, so I'll see you guys later. It was
Yeah, I gotta go too.
You guys.
See ya. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
And I will like. Sorry, what were you saying?
All right, that says after 2, so well, it's a good place to call the stream. So
Sure, yeah.
goodbye. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for giving us your time, everyone who participated and everyone who listened. So we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, it was so late.